Unit 1, Reading 1.
Europeans called North and South America the New World, but it was not new to Native Americans. Native Americans, also called Indians or Amerindians, may have lived there for as long as 30,000 years. The oldest bone tools found in North America may be over 24,000 years old. The most popular theory about how Native Americans arrived in these lands is that during the last ice age, between 17,000 and 50,000 years ago, ocean levels dropped to create a natural land bridge between Asia and North America. This land bridge, Beringia, let groups of northern Asians cross into North America and move south. As the ice age ended, the ocean rose again and Beringia disappeared. As ice-free areas opened, Native Americans continued to move south, and they eventually spread through North and South America. Another theory suggests that small boats were used to travel along Beringia's coast. Modern DNA studies suggest that early people arrived in the Americas in two different groups, like two waves of movement. These people moved south quickly and may have used boats along the Pacific coast. Humans may have reached the southern part of South America between 14,000 and 18,000 years ago. Even today, researchers are still making new discoveries about early Americans, and new knowledge about these people is growing. Interestingly, some DNA studies of dogs in the Americas show that people may have crossed Beringia with their dogs. Groups of Native Americans developed very different cultures. Some lived in small tribes which often moved around, but others began to build villages and towns. Some were hunter-gatherer cultures, and others were farmers. People living in today's Mexico discovered teosinte, a wild grass with seeds which were good to eat. Eventually, ancient farmers managed to breed the grass until its seeds became larger. Today we call this plant corn or maize. The change from hunter-gathering to early farming may have happened very slowly, starting around 13,000 years ago. Other crops which Native Americans discovered and farmed were beans, squash, chilies, cocoa, tobacco, and potatoes. Across different parts of North America, Amerindians developed many different ways of life and spoke different languages. One example of a complex Indian society was the Mississippian culture. It spread along the central Mississippi River and was most active between the years 1200 and 1400 CE. The Mississippians farmed corn, made ceramics, built half-pyramid mounds in important places, and traded goods over long distances. The largest town, Cahokia, may have had more than 10,000 people. The Mississippian culture began to decline by the 1400s for unknown reasons. By the 1500s, there were many other kinds of native cultures living around the Americas.